Hey everyone, I'm going to take a look at the new Spanish League Player of the Season pack on eFootball. There's already a review of the new Player of the Week pack live on the channel. That went live this morning if you want to check that out, alongside a quick summary of today's update that's just been released. I will also be doing reviews of some of the other packs, including the nominating contract packs. There's also match pass players, so keep your eyes out for those videos coming up. But for this one, I'll put timestamps in the description for all these players. If you want to hear about particular players, click on the description and there'll be a link to take you straight to them. We've got 20 players, just like the Premier League one. We've got one for each club. Start with Raíllo from Mallorca. So this is the first highlight or featured version of Raíllo that we've had on eFootball. They've changed him from his regular playing style destroyer to build up. His engagement is down a bit. They seem to do that a lot on these kind of trending centre backs, but yeah, for whatever reason they've taken some of his engagement away. Apart from that, though, it's a decent boost. As you can see, before the game plan boost, the other three defensive attributes there all already 90 plus, which is great. It's not the quickest centre back. Jumping physical could be a little bit higher, to be fair. Stamina is decent. Apart from that, I mean, the low and lofted pass is going to hit 70 with the game plan boost. He's fairly solid, to be honest, but he's just a little bit lacking with the physical and aerial, and the engagement's a bit low. Some might prefer him to have a bit more pace about him as well. Unwavering form there, that's nice. If you look at the skills, just one skill has been added, and it is a very important one. They've given him interception. So already got heading and aerial superiority. Now got man marking, interception, blocker, acrobatic clearance, captaincy. I think sliding tackles for the only defensive skill that's missing. So he's got a very good selection of skills for a centre back. Like I say, he's got some qualities. These three defensive attributes are great. Just the engagement's a little bit low and can do with a little bit more on some of the attributes on the right hand side. So he's 92 rated. He's only just a 5-star. So he's obviously not going to be brilliant all around, but some qualities there. Just maybe 2 or 3 areas of his attributes could do with being a little bit higher, to be honest. I think he's pretty usable. Just could be better. So he's an okay centre back card, but nothing special on the whole. And next we have Rubén Alcaraz. So from Cadiz, we've got a centre midfielder. He's a destroyer. No change to this guy's playing style or positions. It's the first version of him we've had, like with Raíllo. What they've done with his attributes, they've changed a bit more than they did with Raíllo. So he's lost a bit off his lofted pass. He's lost a bit off his speed as well, and also his kicking power. But he's had a bit of a boost on ball control, his attacking awareness, finishing. His acceleration is up a bit. His balance is up a little bit. And his physicals as well, the 3 physicals, physical, jumping and heading, they seem to be up a bit as well. So he's had a fairly nice boost across the board. It's a decent version of Alcaraz. In terms of his skills, they've added 3 defensive skills: man marking, interception and blocker. So that's a nice selection of skills to add to this guy. He's a destroyer, especially as a DMF. Those make him a lot more usable. He's already got 1-touch pass, which is a very important one for any kind of midfielder. Weighted pass is nice. Would be nice if he had through passing as well. It's a bit of a shame. But certainly 1-touch pass and weighted pass are important ones. And then man marking, interception and blocker. He's usable as a centre mid, but without through passing, with that low attacking awareness, I think you're going to get the most out of this guy as a DMF, certainly. And with those skills they've added to him, he's pretty usable. That defensive awareness is going to go past 80 with the game plan boost. He's already in the 80s for the other 3 defensive, so he's pretty strong defensively. He might not be great with his dribbling and tight possession, but his ball control is decent. Just don't ask too much from when you're on the ball. Passing is decent. With a high enough rated manager, he should hit 90 on his low pass. Not the quickest. That's one thing to keep in mind. Physically reasonably strong. Not too much balance. He's going to be more of a physical guy. Stamina's all right. Yeah. I think on the whole, this is a decent card, to be fair, for a 92 rated centre mid. I'm guessing if you play him as a DMF, he's going to be higher rated than 92. In effect, he'd probably be about 93, 94, to be honest, with the attributes he's got, and certainly with the skills. Adding those 3, man marking, interception, and blocker. If you happen to have this guy's GP card, this is certainly a big upgrade. If you don't, and if you're just looking at this card in isolation, is it a top level card? No, absolutely not. But as a DMF, I think you could do a lot worse. I would ignore that 92. Like I said, I expect he's probably 1 or at least 1, maybe 2 higher in effect when you play him as a DMF instead of a CMF. And like I say, with the attributes and with the skills, this isn't actually a bad card at all. It's not a brilliant one, but it's a pretty decent one. So don't sleep on this guy. I think he's actually not bad at all as a DMF. Next, we have another player who's not had a featured version before. It's the first time we've had any kind of featured or special version of Gonzalo Villar from Granada. So we've got another CMF DMF. They've actually added SS as a semi-proficient position, only semi-proficient, and you can't train these cards, so that's absolutely useless. thanks for that. But yeah, in terms of his attributes, but compared to his GP card, he's lost a bit of his speed again. He's lost a bit of kicking power also. Just 1 point off his stamina. That's about it really in terms of what they've reduced from it compared to his GP card. Apart from that, it's a decent boost. As you can see down the left especially, you've got some nice attributes there. The ball control and low pass are already 90 plus before the game plan boost. He's pretty tidy on the ball. He's got nice passing. We'll see what skills he's got at the moment. Defensively, he's kind of okay, not brilliant. I think I'd much rather have this guy at CMF than DMF. He's not the quickest. The acceleration decent. The balance is just about okay, but he's not got a great deal of speed. And that's stamina as well, 79. Orchestrate is not going to do too much running, but certainly you're going to need a lot more than 79 stamina. So this guy will get tired. We'll have a look at this. We'll have a look at the skills. They've added low lofted pass. They've also added interception. That's a very important one, and aerial superiority as well. Already got one touch pass through passing, and adding low lofted pass as well. It'd be nice if he had weighted pass on top of that, but some good skills for his passing. Double touch for the skillers. Gamesmanship, yeah, not too important, but interception, that's a very important one to add for someone playing deep in the midfield. Aerial superiority as well. Fighting spirit will help with the stamina being low, but he's still going to get tired. So you're going to have to sub him off, or maybe he's best used as a substitute, bringing him on second half, I don't know. But yeah, interception, aerial superiority. I mean, he's a guy who's, what, 5'10", 5'11", jumping 67, physical 71. Aerial superiority is going to help, but he's not going to be good in the air. He's just not going to be as bad in the air as he was without aerial superiority. But yeah, with interception, I think I still would prefer this guy at CMF compared to DMF. I don't think he's quite strong enough to be an out-and-out defensive midfielder, but as a CMF with the orchestrated playing style, kind of a deep line playmaker. He's got some lovely passing on him, very tidy on the ball. I think he's decent. I think the lack of speed and the lack of stamina is really the killer here. That's what prevents it from being a particularly good card. But outside of those two weaknesses, he does have a lot of quality. So not a brilliant card. There are one or two concerns there, but some decent skills. Certainly some very nice attributes, and he could do a job. Just got to keep an eye on that speed to an extent. Some people won't mind that, but certainly the stamina, I think for everyone, that's going to be a bit of a concern because you don't want your players getting tired too quick. So yeah, one or two concerns with this guy, but he's certainly got qualities. He's not too bad of a card overall. Antonio Sivera, first goalkeeper in this pack. So we have had one version of this guy previously, a Player of the Week version. This is a better one. Compared to his GP guys, had a pretty nice boost, apart from his jumping, obviously. I'm not going to have that rant again. But in terms of the core goalkeeping attributes, very nice. Awareness is going past 90 with the game plan boost. Catching and powering are both decent enough. Reflexes and reach both 90 plus before the game plan boost. Solid keeper. He's about 6 foot. He's not the biggest keeper, something to keep in mind there, but the reach is decent. And those core goalkeeping attributes, like I say, they're pretty decent. He's got low punt, it's the only goalie skill he's got. Yeah, it's a decent keeper. If he was about 6'3", 6'4", I'd say it's a very good keeper. Because he's only 6 foot, that'll be why his rating is only 92, because the height of a goalkeeper is a significant factor in his rating. But I think he's still pretty decent on the whole. These attributes are pretty good. You may notice that slight lack of height, and obviously with the jumping, like I say, all these Player of the Week, Player of the Month, Player of the Season keepers can't jump. But yeah, the goalie attributes, not the tallest, but he looks like a pretty decent shot stopper. He's not an amazing keeper, but he's a pretty good one. And next is our first featured version of Álex Suárez from Las Palmas. So he's had a decent boost across the board, mainly on his passing. Bit of pace as well has been added to him. Bit more stamina likewise. He's a destroyer centre back. He's got right back, but I don't think he's got the technicals or the pace to play right back really. I wouldn't be putting him there. He's very much a centre back to me, but he is not the tallest. So we have one concern already with this guy as a centre back. He's just not tall enough. I don't think, like I say, with the attributes, you could really consider him as a right back either. So you're looking at him as a centre back. He's lacking a bit in height. He's lacking physical contact. His engagement's a little bit on the low side. The other defensive attributes are strong enough. Not amazing, but strong enough. Pace for a centre-back is decent, to be fair. So is the balance, actually. Not many centre-backs over 70 for balance. Passing is decent for a centre-back. Let's have a look at this guy's skills. They've given him low lofted pass, and they've given him aerial superiority, an important one. He needs that. And sliding tackle. Already got interception, man marking, blocker, some important ones there. So he's got most of the important skills for a centre-back. But how much is that aerial superiority really going to help? I mean, he's got 88 jumping. So he should be decent enough in the air, but physical contact is also a factor in a player's ability to win headers. So keep that in mind. He's not going to be great in the air. You got the jumping, you got the aerial superiority, but you're lacking a bit in height, you're lacking physical contact, so it kind of evens itself out. He might be decent in the air, but not brilliant. Like I say, I'd like the engagement to be higher, and just in general for centre-back, physical contact is very important. So this guy does have some qualities. For the most part, his defensive attributes are alright, but the engagement's a bit low. The pace is pretty good for centre-back, but the physical contact is low. So yeah, some pluses and some minuses with this guy. He could be alright, kind of a nimble, smaller centre-back, but you come up against anyone who's got big physical strikers, they're putting crosses in the box, he might have a real issue. That engagement itself might be a bit of an issue, and that physical contact, regardless, whatever centre forwards you come up against, you want more physical contact than centre back. So yeah, got some qualities, but again, on the whole, I can't say this is a particularly great card, really. Now we have the first feature version that we've had of Marc Pubill from Almeria. So we've got an attacking right back. It's his only position. They've not changed his positions or his playing style. They've really nerfed his kicking power. Speed's down a bit. Stamina slightly down. Lofted passes had a nice boost. Finishing's had a bit of a boost. Set pieces have had a bit of a boost, but it's still not very good at them. Apart from that, very decent boost across the board. It's an upgrade for sure from his GP card. But is this guy going to be good at fullback? I don't know. I see one or two qualities here, but I see quite a few concerns. One positive with this guy, his only skill in his GP card is scissors feint. All these other skills have been added. So they're given a heading, through passing, pinpoint crossing, interception, aerial superiority, sliding tackle. I just noticed this guy's 6'3". He's tall for a right back, and he's got aerial superiority as well. 71 for jumping is not brilliant, but his physical contact's good. So yeah, he should be decent in the air for a fullback. But yeah, interception an important one. Sliding tackle is a nice one to have. Through passing and pinpoint crossing, they're good ones going forward, but as much as pinpoint crossing does make his crossing decent when he's got 81 for lofted pass, 73 for low pass, even with through passing, you're going to have to be very careful with his passing. Don't ask too much of him. That's very poor. And then on the ball, again, he's not going to be comfortable on the ball. He's a tall guy as well, low balance. You're going to have to be very, very careful when you get on the ball with this guy, carrying the ball, passing the ball. The only thing he's really half decent at is crossing. Defensively, he's lacking a bit of aggression. That might concern a lot of people. The other defensive attributes, they're not the worst, but could do with being a little bit higher. Pace, they have nerfed his speed a bit, but it's still decent. He's got decent pace for a fullback. The physical contact is good for a fullback. Balance is a bit on the lower side. Stamina's good. Again, you've got some pluses and some minuses, but for me, the minuses outweigh the pluses. On the whole, for me, I don't see how I'd use this guy. Even if I get it from my free spin, I think he's probably getting released. Yes, he's quite pacey. He's quite tall and physical for a fullback. He's got some decent skills there, but not brilliant defensive attributes, and some of these technicals down left are really quite poor. So yeah, I don't think he's going to feel particularly good on the ball. I think he's going to be quite awkward on the ball with the attributes and with his build. And on the whole, again, maybe he's got some qualities, some decent skills, but on the whole, I just don't think it's that great of a card. Now we have our second feature version of Budimir, because we had a nominate and contract version of this guy. This one is better. It's high rated, but I will point out with that nominate and contract one, it depends how you train him, because on auto allocation, the points are kind of shuffled around. There's one or two slightly higher, there's one or two slightly lower, so it's not better in every way than that card, but on the whole, it is a bit better. It's obviously a bit higher rated, so on the whole, it's a better card. This one, compared to his GP card, he's lost a bit of his balance, but they've increased his physical contact and his jumping. On a guy who's about 6'3", 180 centimeters, and he's good in the air, those are important attributes to boost. So straight away, this is looking like a good version of him. On the ball, he's been boosted a little bit as well, and his passing's up a bit. His defensives are actually boosted a bit as well. That's interesting. Yeah, and on the whole, he's looking decent. The awareness and the finishing both going past 90 with the game plan boost. For a big kind of target man type of player, even though his playing style is box in the box, like I say, with the jumping, the physical, his height, he is very much someone who's going to be at his best when you're putting high balls into the box for him. It looks pretty decent, to be fair, this card. Looking at his skills, they've added a long-range curler. They've added one-touch pass, nice bonus on the centre forward. They've also added outside curler, another nice little bonus on the centre forward. So some nice skills been added. He's already got first-time shot, the most important one on any centre forward. And like I say, heading, aerial superiority. It would be nice if he had acrobatic finishing as well, but certainly with heading and aerial superiority, 190 centimeters, with jumping and physical contact now in the mid 80s alongside heading, he's going to be pretty decent in the air. He's not the quickest, but like I say, even though his playing style is Fox in the box, he's very much a target man style of a striker. He's a big physical guy. You just want to kind of put some high balls into him, put some cross into the box, and that's where he's at his strongest. But he is reasonably decent on the ball. He's pretty competent with these technicals here. For this type of a striker, a big, tall, strong striker who's good in the air, his technicals aren't too bad. And the passing with one-touch pass, not great, but again, they could be worse. He's not too bad. But he's got the awareness, he's got the finishing. In the air, he's pretty strong as well. So, yeah, on the whole, I think it just comes down to what type of striker you like. If you like a small, pacey, nimble striker, you like the goal poacher playing style, obviously this guy's not going to be for you. But Fox in the box, tall, quite physical, technically quite competent. If you like your big, tall strikers, putting long balls and crosses in towards your strikers, I think he could actually be a decent one. 93 rated doesn't make him look too amazing, but it comes down to what type of striker he is and what type of striker you like to use. If he's your type of striker, I actually think this is a pretty decent card. Next up, we have Álvaro García. We had one version of him previously in, I think it was a Spanish League pack. This one is better. He's a little fella, 168 centimeters, so we got a quick, wide man who's not the tallest. He's got great dribbling. He could feel pretty fun on the ball. But as much as his dribbling is nice, his 90 before your game plan boost, they've taken a few points away from his ball control and tight possession. Why have they done that? Like, why? Come on. It's so annoying. Yeah, I'll also say his playing style is normally roaming flank, before I forget to mention that. He's been changed to a prolific winger. If you prefer that playing style and you use wide forwards, that's great. If you don't have a preference, or if you prefer roaming flank, you might not like that so much, because prolific winger is only active as a wide left forward. It won't be active left midfield, whereas roaming flank would have been active both positions. So he's now going to be playing without a playing style if you play him as a left midfielder. Just something to keep in mind. He's a left footer playing on the left. Lofted pass only 75. I don't think he's going to be great with his crossing. Let's have a look at what skills he's got. Yeah, he's not got crossing, but he does have a few decent skills here. What have they added? They've added long range curler, through passing, and fighting spirit. Already had long range shooting. He's not got much for the dribblers. I think for a guy who's small and quick and got good dribbling, that's a bit of a shame. I'm not exactly a skill merchant myself. I'm not too bothered, but I think for those who like to do their skill moves, they like the real dribblers, they might find this guy, the lack of skill moves in his skills a bit frustrating. But certainly there's a bit of end product here. The long range curler, long range shooting, through passing. The passing is only really going to improve his attributes slightly. Through passing will help, but without those attributes being higher, he's not going to have great passing. You'll still have to be careful not to ask too much of him. Finishing though, with long range curler and long range shooting, he should have a decent shot on him. He doesn't have outside curler and he's left footed, so I don't think long range curler is really going to be much help on this guy. Unless he goes drifting all the way over to the right hand side, he comes back aside to his left foot. I don't see him doing that unless you literally take him over there to the other side manually. Certainly long range shooting that will help. 80 finishing, so he's got a decent shot on him. He's quick, the dribbling is great. Like I say, I don't know why they've taken his ball control and tight possession down. If this is him being one of the players of the season, that does not make sense. They have given him a boost on his passing though. His passing attributes might not be great, but they've been increased. Finishing likewise. He's physically a bit stronger as well than his GP card tends to be. Got a little bit less attacking awareness than his GP card. That's annoying. Yeah, this is one of his cards where they put some of his attributes up, some of them down. A little bit annoying in some areas, but ultimately you just got a guy he's small, he's quick, he's nimble, he can dribble, and he's got a decent attacking awareness even if they're taking it down a bit. His finishing is quite good at 80 before the game plan boost. He's got a shot on him, but I think for a lot of people you either want a winger to be a left footer on the left putting crosses in, which he's not really good at, or you want him to be a right footer cutting inside as a kind of inverted winger, which is what a lot of people like to use. This guy's a left footer who can't cross, so I'm not sure how effective he's going to be on that left hand side. I think for a lot of people he just might not really be too effective of a player. Yes, he's got qualities, mainly the pace and the dribbling, but as much as he's going to feel pretty nice on the ball, I think with the ball control and tight possession being nerfed a little bit, not having better passing, not being able to cross as a left footer on the left, not having outside curler to be able to cut inside into his and do kind of long range curls with the outside of his boot, and not being particularly two-footed either. Yeah, this guy's got a few qualities that made him look like he might be quite a nice card, but the weaknesses this guy's got, sadly for me, it kind of spoiled the card a bit, so it's not a great one for me. Iago Aspas from Celta Vigo. So, we've had a few versions of this guy. There has been one version that went one higher than this. It was in one of those legend boxes. This one goes to 94. That went to 95. They're pretty similar. I wouldn't say the other one's better in every way. The points have been shuffled around a little bit. Some are higher, some slightly higher, some slightly lower, but compared to that one that came from the legend box. What I would say is that that other one was probably better as a centre forward, but this one, with the boost it's had in its passing, is better as an SS. So if you like an SS, but just behind your strikers or striker, this one is better than that other card in my opinion, but they're pretty similar overall. In terms of the rest of his attributes, like I said, passing's had a very nice boost actually. He's lost a bit of his acceleration, he's lost a bit of his balance. This is annoying. Attacking awareness slightly down, but he's a bit better on the ball. His finishing's had a bit of a boost as well. Attacking awareness already 90, but with the game plan boost, the finishing's going over 90 as well. So on a centre forward, awareness and finishing both going past 90. Excellent. That's what you want. We'll have a quick look at his skills. They've taken away scissors feint and chip shot control. I think we can live without those because they've replaced them with one touch pass and outside curler. I think those are two very nice ones to have on a centre forward or an SS, obviously. I wouldn't play him wide right. Don't think he's got the pace to play wide right, but on a centre forward or SS, those are two nice additions to his skills. Already got first time shot, long range curler, long range shooting. He's got soul control, through passing. So he's got some nice passing skills. He's got the shooting skills. They've given him a nice boost to his passing attribute, and his finishing, like I say, is going past 90 with the game plan boost. So he's looking pretty decent, but there's just one concern. In fact, there's two concerns because his stamina's terrible. He's going to get tired pretty quickly. You might want to put counter target on him, but yeah, keep an eye on that stamina. But the other concern, you probably know what it's going to be. He's a goal poacher. He's just not particularly quick. Yes, he can still do a job for you. He can still take up good positions with the awareness he's got. He's tidy on the ball. He's got good passing for a striker. But without more pace, you're not going to really be able to make the most of that goal poacher playing style because he's going to be trying to run in behind the defence, but he's rarely going to be able to get away from the centre-backs unless they're very slow because he's just not the quickest. So it's a bit frustrating for me, but yeah, like I say, he's still going to be pretty decent as a centre-forward. He might still work well for you even if he's not the quickest. As I say, he's not quick enough to play wide right in my opinion, but as an SS, he could be pretty effective because their pace isn't quite so important in that position. He is tidy enough on the ball. He does have a nice passing, 80 low pass with one touch pass and through passing. They've boosted that low pass. As an SS, I think this is the best version of Aspas we've had, and I think it's a pretty decent card. Great awareness and finishing for SS. Passing is decent, on the ball decent. I think that's where this card is going to be best used. If you do ever use an SS through the middle, just behind the attack, where pace isn't quite so important, with the ability this guy's got, I think he could be a really nice card actually. As a centre forward, the pace is a bit of a concern for me. The stamina's a concern, I think, for sure. But for me, the pace kind of holds him back as a goal poacher as a centre forward. If you're not too bothered about that, then it could be a very nice striker with the qualities he's got. But certainly as an SS, I think it could be a really nice card. So yeah, just depends on what you really want from your centre forwards or your SSs. But for a lot of people, this could actually be a pretty nice card. So now we have Fekir from Real Betis. This is an interesting choice for me because, to the best of my knowledge, he missed half the season. He didn't do that great when he came back and he actually got in the team. I've been reading that they're trying to get rid of him as well. So interesting one. I've not seen that much of him though, so I might be wrong on that. But on eFootball, however, I must say I love this guy. I got a previous version of him. I think it was the first time they did a kind of Spanish League pack. I got him from one of those packs, I think it was, and he was really good for me. Contract expired. Won't be such an issue soon because contract expiry is no longer going to be an issue with eFootball 25. But yeah, this one I think is pretty much the same positions as the one I've got. He's a whole player. We've had a bunch of versions of him by now, to be honest. A few of them have actually been a bit better than this one, but this one still does look pretty decent compared to his GP card. Sadly, again, we've got some weird changes to his attributes, and for a guy who is a whole player attacking mid, who's at his best really in that kind of hole behind the attack, the attributes that they've nerfed are some of the most important ones. They've made him worse on the ball, especially his dribbling. Why have they done that? Surely these cards are like player of the season cards. If he's Real Betis' player of the season as a kind of number 10, Why would they make him worse than his GP card gets on the ball? It's just silly. But anyways, they have boosted him elsewhere. So low pass boosted, attacking awareness boosted, finishing has had a big boost, physical contact has had a big boost as well. So there is a bit of a kind of, you know, a pluses and minuses situation here. Annoying that those have been nerfed, those attributes, but some of these attributes have been boosted pretty nicely. So on the whole, it is still a decent version of Fekir. He's not the quickest, but outside of that, you have to say this is a really nice looking card. On the ball, even if they've taken some points away from me, he's still very tidy on the ball. The passing is decent, the finishing good, attacking awareness is good. Physical contact 84, he's got a really nice boost on his physical contact, and balance 87. That's really nice. It's pretty rare on a player of this type, playing in those kind of areas, and number 10 kind of areas. Physical contact 84, very, very nice. I think the one I got went up to sort of mid-70s, so yeah. Some interesting boosts on some of these attributes, I would have to say. Unwavering form as well. Be interesting to see where he ends up, because like I say, there are rumours he might be leaving Betis. If he goes to a team or a league that doesn't get live update, then that could be important, but at the same time, not getting live update would be a big negative. But let's look at his skills. They've taken away dipping shot, they've taken away weighted pass. That's a bit of a shame. And they've added a long range curler and first time shot, so they've at least added two pretty good skills there. Already got long range shooting, knuckle shot. He's got through passing. Shame he's not got one touch pass. My one doesn't have that either, but through passing is a nice one. He does have decent passing, 85 low pass. In terms of the different positions he's got, again, playing out wide with the pace he's got, I don't think he's quick enough. You could certainly get away with him there. Mine's a little bit quicker than this, and I've used him wide left. He's been fine, so you could get away with him there, but I think most of us would like a bit more pace than a wide man. As a centre forward, awareness 82, finishing 84, I don't think quite high enough. You could maybe get away with it if you're desperate, but really where this guy is best, as I mentioned a couple of times, in those areas of number 10, either an attack midfielder or an SS behind the attack, tidy on the ball, physically strong, decent passing. He's got a good shot on him as well, 84 for finishing, first time shot, long range shooting, long range curler, knuckle shot. He's got end product, he's technically very sound. That boost to his physical strength could be pretty interesting, actually. I think it's a very interesting looking card. It's a shame he's not the best version of Fekir we've had. We had several better versions previously, but it's still decent. Annoying with the way they've reduced a few of his attributes, but with the boost they're giving it to some of his other ones and the skills that he's got and the positions he can play as a number 10, I think, primarily, I think he's actually a pretty tidy looking card. I'd be quite pleased if I got this guy. We have another goalkeeper, and again, it's a player who is getting his first featured card on the game. We've not had any special versions of this guy before. This guy is a defensive goalkeeper. He is at least fairly tall, 6'3", 6'4", and his attributes are pretty strong. So awareness and reflex is both 90 plus before your game plan boost. That's great. Catching is going to go up to 90 with your game plan boost. Parrying is going to go up to high 80s, and likewise reach. Strong goalkeeper attributes. Obviously, he can't jump because he's one of the players of the season, so he can't jump as high as he normally can. That makes perfect sense. Skill-wise, usual skills for this guy: low punt, long throw, penalty saver. Not got the best attributes of distribution, but yeah, the most important ones, strong. It's a strong goalkeeper card. It's not an amazing one. Always a concern, these player of the month, player of the whatever, player of the season, whatever, the fact that they can't jump. But the most important attributes with this guy, pretty strong. It's a strong goalkeeper card. There's no real weakness with them amongst these most important attributes here. So yeah, good solid goalkeeper this. And now we have another version of Iñaki Williams. So the usual playing style and positions for this guy. We've had a previous one from a Spanish league pack. I've got that one. Pretty good. It's about the same as this one, to be honest. But that one was trainable. This one isn't. These are trending cards. There was a trainable one from one of those legend boxes, which was slightly better than this one. So this isn't the best version of him that we've had. He's a little bit worse on the ball than his GP card can be. But they boosted his finishing, boosted his pace a bit. Like he needed the boost there, but I'll take it. Jumping, physical, heading, I think as well. Those have been boosted. So yeah, some interesting attribute changes with this guy. Looking at his attributes, his skills, sorry. We've had a long range curler added. Rising shot, I think, is new. And then given a track back. Not everyone's cup of tea, but fair enough. Yeah, the question with this guy is where do you play him? Because you can go wide right, wide left, or centre forward. I don't think wide right is where you're going to want to play him, to be honest. That might be his registered position, but as a right footer, can he cross? No, definitely not. Sure, he can cut inside. He's got outside curler on him, but he's not overly two-footed. I don't think I'd want to put him on the right, personally. I think you're looking at this guy either as a inverted winger coming in from the left flank. That's probably where he's best. With the pace, he's got some dribbling ability. Tight possession is a bit dodgy. I'll keep an eye on that, and I'd like a bit more on his ball control, but certainly the dribbling's decent. With the pace, physical contact, again, you've got an attacking player with fairly high physical contact. That's good. That's very good. Attacking awareness is good, 85, very good for a wide man. Finishing 80 is decent. He's got first time shot, long range shooting, long range curler. So coming off that left flank onto his right foot, I think that's where he's going to be most effective. With the pace, that good awareness, the fact that he can finish on his right foot, I think coming off the left flank could be very good. As a centre forward, he's got just about everything he needs to be a very decent kind of goal poacher type of striker, albeit he would be playing without our playing style up top. But finishing only 80 does let him down in that position, so that's a bit of a shame. It's not a trainable card, as I mentioned, so it's not like you can tweak the way the points are allocated either. So I think that holds him back from really being a usable centre forward, sadly. I don't think his passing is good enough for SS, but yeah, with this guy, like I say, I think the best place to use him, wide left. Playing wide left, prolific winger as a wide left forward or left midfield with an active playing style. Using his pace and his finishing coming off that left flank, I think he could be pretty effective. I think if you look at him compared to a lot of the options that most of us have for that type of player, you're probably going to want more on the ball. I think that's the letdown. They have nerfed him a little bit there. That's kind of spoiled him, really. I think ultimately got some qualities, like I say, the pace, the awareness, finishing, but yeah, I would like him to be a bit better on the ball and a bit more balanced. So it is a good card. He does have qualities. He could be pretty effective, but it could be a better one. So slightly disappointing, but there are some real qualities there, and it could be a very effective card for some people. Now we have our first featured version of Pepelu from Valencia. So he's a DMF or CMF orchestrator. Compared to his GP card, low passing's up a little bit. Lofted is down by 1. On the whole, it's a fairly decent boost, to be honest. They've given him a decent boost from his GP card. His physical contact is up by 17. He's had a big boost on his physical contact. So that's a very significant one. But yeah, outside of that, he looks like a decent kind of deep line playmaker type of player. Unwavering form as well. They've added just one skill, but it's a crucial one. One touch pass. So we've got one touch pass, and we've already got through passing, weighted pass, low lofted pass. We've got pinpoint crossing. Don't think that's going to come in handy too often. Penalty specialist, but then interception and fighting spirit. He's got a pretty decent selection of skills for a centre mid. For the type of player he is, the skills to back up his passing attributes, which are already fantastic. 91 and 90 there. Yes, they've knocked a bit off his lofted pass, but I mean, we can live with that. When you get your game plan boost, you're into the 90s. You're going to be at what, 93, 94 low pass, into the 90s on lofted pass as well. He's not going to be amazing on the ball. That tight possession could hold him back a little bit, but the dribbling's okay. The ball control is good. I think that'll probably hit 90 with the game plan boost as well. So technically, this guy is really tidy. Defensively, he's going to go past 80 for his awareness and tackling, which is decent. Aggression and defensive engagement could be lower, to be honest. They're not too bad. On the whole, I think, again, as a DMF, I would like a bit more defensively in terms of the attributes and his skills, but he could be worse. It depends how many other midfielders you've got in there. If you're playing a diamond, if you're playing a double pivot, single pivot, whatever you're doing. If you've got one or two other midfielders who are doing some of the defensive work, you can get away with this guy as a DMF, certainly. But I think as a CMF orchestrator, playmaking from the middle of the park, with a bit of defensive ability that he's got, and making most of what he's really best at, technically really, really nice. He's decent at set pieces as well. Not too bad at set pieces. But yeah, as a deep line playmaker type of a player with that orchestrator playing style, technically really nice. Physical contact's decent. Like I say, a big boost to his physical contact. I would like a bit more balance, but I can live without that. Not the quickest as well. Something to keep in mind. Kicking power's decent. Stamina's fantastic. One or two attributes could be a bit high, but I think on the whole, this is ultimately a pretty decent player. If you like an orchestrator, deep line playmaker type of player in the middle of the park, with the qualities he's got, the skills backing up his attributes, one or two could be higher out of all his attributes, but ultimately I think it's a fairly nice card, actually. And now we have Sørloth from Villarreal, rumoured to be leaving. I think he's going to Roma, from what I've read. So we've had a bunch of versions of this guy. We've had some goal poachers and we've had some foxes in the box. In terms of their overall rating, this is the joint highest rated, along with one of the goal poacher versions that we've had of this guy. So if you want a fox in the box version, this could be the one for you. The best fox in the box version we previously had was a player of the week. We've got a bit less awareness on this one, a bit less jumping on this one, but we've got a bit more finishing. So it's different to that one. Pretty similar on the whole, but those are the main differences between that one and the player of the week fox in the box. Compared to his GP card, we've lost a bit of acceleration and balance. That's annoying. They've taken one off his attacking awareness. Why? But heading's up a bit, finishing's up a bit. That's nice. That's going to go past 90 with your game plan boost now. And yeah, he's pretty strong. This is a strong version of Sørloth. He's a tall guy. He's about 6'5", jumping at 84, physical 88, heading 87. As you see from the skills, he's got aerial superiority, he's got heading, he's got acrobatic finishing as well. He's going to be strong from crosses. I've had two versions of him. I got his GP card and I got one from one of those legend boxes, and he is really quite a menace in the air. Already got first time shot as well, which is an important one. I think the only one they've added is one touch pass. That seems to be the only change to his skills. That's a good addition. Outside curls, nice. Like I say, first time shot and acrobatic finishing, long range shooting, long range curler, chip shot control, rising shot. He's got just about all the skills he needs for his shooting, and he's good in the air. This is a good version of Sørloth. He's, like I say, with the attributes, with the skills, he's going to be a menace from crosses. With the fox in the box playing style, pace isn't quite so important, but he does have good pace about him. I don't know which I prefer out of a goal poacher version and the fox in the box version. I've only got a goal poacher version personally, so I'll be interested to get this guy. If I get this guy, a fox in the box, I'll be interested to see if he's as effective, because a goal poacher is going to be running in behind the defense. And he's got some decent pace on him. But with the fox in the box, they make their runs forward a little bit later. They're a little bit more effective at kind of taking passes into feet and kind of allowing you to sort of play off them and use them in the build-up. So with the technicals not being a bit better, yes, they've had a one-touch pass, but the passing could do with being a bit better as well. I'm not sure if fox in the box is the best playing style for him in some areas of the game, but certainly when it comes to getting into crosses, I think fox in the box is a good playing style. And with crosses, with this guy, like I say, he's a menace. He's really decent. So yeah, some qualities there, some real qualities. I'll be mindful of these technicals here. He's never great with many of these attributes. He always seems to have low attacking awareness, which is a shame, because this is this is one of these player of the season cards. A centre forward who's scored a whole load of goals, and apparently his attacking awareness is pretty low. That doesn't make sense to me. You'd think that on this type of card, they could finally give him a bit of a boost on that attribute, but apparently not. But yeah, like I say, a menace in the air. It's got great finishing. It's got good pace. There are one or two things to be concerned about the attributes. So for that reason, I can't say this is an amazing card. But if you like a big, tall striker who's physically strong and he's going to be good from crosses, this guy can be very, very effective. So yeah, if it's your type of striker, it could be a really nice card to pick up. Samuel Lino is an interesting one, because we've had three previous featured cards of this guy, and all three of them were player of the week cards, and they were all left backs and offensive awareness playing style, or attacking attacking fullback playing style. So they all went to 93, so on the face of it, this one's better. But with those previous three cards being left backs with the attacking fullback playing style, if you look at them, they're actually better than this one as a left back. So if you want a version of Lino that's it's going to be playing at left back, and if you've got one of those player of the week cards, you've already got a better one than this one. But if you want a version of this guy who's going to play as a midfielder, this guy's pretty similar to those ones, but his passing is significantly better. So I think this one's probably on the whole better as a midfielder. So that's the key difference between this one and the previous versions. Comparing him to his GP card, like I say, the passing is pretty nice. They've given him a big boost on his passing. His finishing's had a bit of a boost as well. His physicals as well. He's physically a bit stronger, albeit he's still a bit weak. I don't see any reductions to any of his attributes, which is nice. Makes a nice change in these packs. He's pretty tidy on the ball. Dribbling's going to hit the 90 mark with the game plan boost. Like I say, the passing's decent for a wide man. The finishing and the attacking awareness are okay out wide. Pacey. Kicking power's decent enough. Balance is decent enough. Stamina's pretty good. He's got a bunch of positions he can play. Those defensive attributes being as low as they are, I would not put this guy at fullback. Not a chance. He cannot defend. So he's not going at fullback for me. 80 for low pass. He's not going centre midfield. Attacking when is 76, finishing 79. He's not going up front. So he's got a bunch of positions, but for me, this guy's only going to be playing as a left midfielder. With the cross specialist playing style, which is his regular playing style, he's going to hug that touchline. This is one of the frustrating things with this guy, is that he's right-footed, playing on the left. He's a cross specialist. As a cross specialist, he's going to have to keep cutting back inside to put crosses in, or using his left foot, which, you know, he might be reasonably two-footed, but it's not ideal. If we look at his skills, they have given him pinpoint crossing, so that is good. They've given him through passing as well. So one-touch pass and through passing. That would improve his passing. I still wouldn't touch him at centre midfield. I don't think 80 is high enough, even with those skills. He's got a couple of skill moves. He's got soul control. Outside curl is a nice one. So, yeah. Pinpoint crossing and outside curler. 85 lofted pass. You could be putting some decent crossing with him from the left-hand side if you use that outside curler to put crosses in with his right foot. Otherwise, you're going to have to cut back inside to put the crosses in. His passing is decent. He's got pace. He's got good dribbling. Finishing 79. Ultimately, I think I've said pretty similar about the Player of the Week cards that they've done for this guy. He's got some qualities, but I just don't know how effective he'd be in any of these positions. I think the only positions I'd find him particularly effective at would be wide left for the reasons I just explained a minute ago. But even as a left winger, with the cross specialist playing style, staying out wide the whole time, as a right footer on the left-hand side, I'm just not sure how effective he would be. If he had long-range curler, first-time shot, maybe, but then even if he had those and he had more ability to kind of come inside onto his right foot and have a bit more end product with his shooting, he's still a cross specialist. He's not going to be coming inside very often. He will sometimes come inside. I've used cross specialists quite a bit, and they do come inside a bit, but just not a lot. That's what that playing style does. It keeps them out wide, looking to get in crossing positions. So, yeah, if you like putting crosses in, it might be going for you based on his playing style, the skills, and everything. But the fact he's right footed on the left might kill him a little bit. It might just spoil him a bit. If you don't want that type of wide midfielder, yes, he's got pace, he can dribble, he's got a bit of end product, but with the playing style and the fact that he's not going to come inside too often, I just don't know how effective he's going to be as a kind of inverted winger, which is what it would be. So, yeah, he's got plenty of qualities. I just don't know how effective he'll be for anyone, to be honest. I think for some people he could work out pretty nicely. Certainly he's versatile, even if he's not that strong in his other positions. But as a left midfielder, for some people it could be effective. But for me, I just don't know how well he'd work and how well his playing style and all his attributes marry up together. He's a bit of a strange one for me. And now we have our 3000th version of Kubo. So, he's a decent one, to be fair. He's a prolific winger, normally a creative playmaker. Prolific winger will be active as a wide right forward. He will not have an active playing style in any other position. I wouldn't play him centre forward. He's not got the awareness and finishing for that. But I think playing wide right or as an attack mid or SS, any of those four positions, I think he could be very effective. This is a nice version of Kubo. I think the only version we've had of him that I can see that was better than this was a Showtime one, which went about one higher. So this is near enough as good a version of Kubo that we've had. They've actually added centre forward. Just noticed that. He doesn't usually have centre forward, so that's a new position. But like I say, with the awareness and finishing being what they are, I wouldn't play him now. I don't think he's got the attributes to do that. But as a playmaker through the middle or playing out wide as an inverted wing, I think he could be very effective. Comparing him to his GP card on auto allocation of his training points, kicking power is down a bit, stamina's down a bit. It's taken 2 off dribbling and added 2 to his tight possession. Interesting. I mean, it's not as though they've reduced all 3 of these attributes on the ball, so I don't think I can complain too much. They've taken 2 from one and put them on another one. On the whole, all 3 of them 90 plus with the game plan boost, so I don't think you can complain. He's going to be very tidy on the ball. He's had a boost to his finishing. He's had a nice boost to his passing. But that's a strange one because they've changed him from a creative playmaker to a prolific winger and made him better at passing. So he's not a playmaker anymore, but he's better at being a playmaker. Interesting. But yeah, nice boost on his passing now either way. Certainly playing into the middle, that will make him more effective. That's very nice. Like I say with the finishing, that's had a bit of a boost. He's got decent pace. Not amazing pace, but decent. Certainly the acceleration is very decent. Balance 87 is nice. He's got unwavering form as well. Looking at the skills, they've taken away Sombrero and they've added flip-flap and pinpoint. Giving him flip-flap means he'll get that ball roll double touch, whatever you call it. Pinpoint crossing, nice one to have. He's got 85 lofted pass, but again, he's not overly two-footed. He's going to have to cut inside and hit in-swinging crosses to really make the most of that. Does have outside curler, though. He could hit some crosses with the outside of his left foot from the right flank. One-touch pass and through passing he's already got. So again, he's got nice passing if you're playing through the middle. A few skill moves, a bit of passing, long-range curler as well with his finishing. It's a good version of Kubo. We've had quite a few versions of him. I think a lot of us have probably already got a decent version of him, so it might not be the most exciting one for a lot of us, but if you don't have a good version of him already, I think he's got a bit of pace, he's going to be good on the ball, he's got end product. I think he could be a pretty effective player playing wide right or through the middle, just not quite as a centre forward, but either as a sort of attacking mid or an SS, or wide right as an inverted winger. I think it's a pretty good version of Kubo. I think it's a very nice looking card. Next up, we have Badé from Sivera. So, we had a previous version of him in one of those legend boxes. This one's very similar. The big difference is that other card is trainable. It has less skills though, so it's kind of pros and cons. If you've already got that card and you put the skills on it, you won't need this one, but yeah, that one can be trained. You can kind of tweak it. You can train positions and skills, but it doesn't have as many skills as this one. They've added a few skills to him. They've given him weighted pass. They've given him blocker, really nice addition, and sliding tackle. So man marking, interception, blocker, good, and sliding tackle, and then in the air, heading and aerial superiority. I think all he's really lacking is acrobatic clearance. I think we can live without that though. Weighted pass to go with his low and lofty pass, being in the 70s. Very nice. Ball control's over 70, so technically he's got some fairly nice attributes. Down the middle, defensive awareness is going to go past 90 with the game plan boost. Tackling's already past 90. Aggression only 80. If you like a bit more aggression, that might be frustrating for you. Engagement, that's okay at 86. Could be better, but it's okay. It's got reasonable pace for a centre back. He's not the quickest though. Jumping 86, physical 90. Should be decent in the air. He's about 6'3". So jumping 86, physical 90, heading 82. He's got aerial superiority, so he's going to be pretty strong in the air. Stamina's okay. He might get tired late in the game. Might be something to keep an eye on. Yeah, ultimately, he's pretty strong. Compared to his GP card, his defensive attributes are actually pretty much as they are in his GP card, but they've given him his boost mainly down these left and right columns, interestingly. But yeah, on the whole, it's a nice version of Badé. It's a pretty strong one. I don't think he's quite an elite level centre-back. I would want a bit more, maybe he's a bit more aggression, certainly a little bit more engagement, but looking at the rest of his attributes, he's a pretty strong version. He's a good, strong centre-back. So yeah, no major weaknesses there. Not elite level by any means, but if you get this guy, he's certainly very usable. I think it's a pretty strong centre-back card. Now we have Sávio from Girona, albeit he's joining Man City this summer. So we've had another version of him in one of those legend boxes. It was about the same level as this. Attributes have been shuffled around slightly from that one though. So this one has a bit less balance. He's a bit worse on the ball, but he's got better passing and finishing. So those are the main differences if you've got that version of him. If you don't, this is a pretty good version of him. He's got a bit less balance and a bit worse on the ball compared to his GP card when maxed out with auto allocation, but he's got a lot more in product. The passing and the finishing are up quite a bit. So yeah, on the whole, it's a pretty decent looking version of him. Some pros and cons compared to his GP card, but certainly on the whole, it's a nice boost. He's got good pace. He's pretty good on the ball. That attacking range will hit 80 with the game plan boost. He's got decent low and lofted pass and finishing for a wide man. Balance is okay. Stamina's okay. We'd like them both to be a bit higher, to be fair though. He's got unwavering form. He's not two-footed and he's a left footer, so you're gonna have to really think about where you play this guy, because if you play him on the left as a left footer, he does not have pinpoint crossing. So I think for me it's pretty clear that this guy's gonna be best as an inverted winger playing on the right hand side, cutting inside into his left foot. Looking at his skills, they've added double touch, long range curler, long range shooting, first time shot, and through passing. So based on the skills, big upgrade. That's significant. So we've got a nice section of skills now. So in terms of both his attributes and his skills, he's got a lot more in product. That's really nice. Certainly with his shooting and then through passing as well. Outside curl is a really nice one to have, especially for a player who's not particularly two-footed. But yeah, without pinpoint crossing, I'm not going to put this guy on the left as a left footer. I think he's going as a wide right forward for me. With the pace, not as good in the ball as he could have been, but still pretty good. That dribbling will hit 90, I think, with your game plan boost. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And with his finishing 83 and the shooting skills he's got, cutting in onto his left foot, he could have a very nice left-footed shot on him. So, yeah, he's got end product. He's going to feel pretty nice on the ball. I would like one or two attributes to be a bit higher, the balance and stamina maybe, but ultimately I think you've got a pretty good winger. Like with Kubo, you've got a guy who's got a lot of quality. He's going to be pretty nice on the ball. He's got some end product, unwavering form as well. It'd be interesting to see how many games he plays for Man City this season. He might not necessarily play too many games, so not sure how much AMB form he'll get, but yeah, certainly had a very good season this season for Girona. So yeah, maybe we will get a lot of live update. We'll see, but certainly it's a good version of him. And the bottom line for me is that it's the end product, way more end product than he normally has. So yeah, if you like this guy and if you like this type of player, could be a very nice card to pick up. And next we have another Rüdiger card. We've had quite a few versions of Rüdiger, I think. So I'm going to get straight to the changes they've made from his GP card, which is another interesting one. They've reduced his physicals a little bit. His physical contact, his jumping, and his heading. They're all down a little bit from his GP card, but the boost is with his low pass, and his speed is up quite a lot. His acceleration likewise has gone up quite a bit, and his stamina. So it's an interesting one where, as a centre-back, it's a bit of a shame they're taking away a bit of his physical and aerial ability, but the boost is low pass and his pace and his stamina. I think that's a decent trade-off. It's a pretty nice looking version of Rüdiger, to be fair. Unwavering form as always. Destroyer as always. Only got centre-back as a position. We've had a couple of previous versions that go up to 96, but like I say, with the way they've done his attributes, he's a little bit different. The same overall, but some higher, some lower attributes. In terms of his skills, we've got low lofted pass has been added. And acrobatic clearance. So as a centre-back, I think you've got a pretty complete set. You've got heading and aerial superiority, so his aerial abilities there. Man marking, interception, blocker, sliding tackle, acrobatic clearance, fighting spirit. I think that's pretty much everything you want skill-wise for a centre-back. Low lofted pass is a nice addition. Low pass is going to hit 70 with the game plan boost. So yeah, not great on the ball. These on the ball attributes, I'll keep an eye on those. But outside of that, you've got a very strong version of Rüdiger. According to eFootball Hub, he's going to hit 100 at centre-back. So clearly is a very good card. He's got a lot of qualities. That boost to his speed, I think that's really nice. Even with a reduction to his physical and aerial, he's still strong enough in the air. But having that boost to his speed, I think it makes it a very nice version of Rüdiger. So yeah, if you like a destroyer, that playing style's not everyone's cup of tea. He will step out of his position a little bit. He'll be quite aggressive with his positioning, not just with his attribute there. Defensively very strong. The passing's alright for a centre-back. Good pace. Physical and aerial still strong enough. Good stamina now. Yeah, it's an interesting version of Rüdiger. It's a very good one. And like I say, going to 100 at centre-back, that says it all. So yeah, this is a very good, strong centre-back card. And we finish up with Gündoğan. Another player we've had quite a few versions of. We've got a box-to-box Gündoğan. Normally a whole player, so we've had another playing style change. Most of the versions of Gündoğan we've had have been a whole player. We've had one classic 10. I think this is the second box-to-box, maybe the third that we've had. So they have changed him there. And they've added attacking midfield as well. So he can play as an attacking midfielder. He will not have an active playing style if you play him as an attacking midfielder, but you can play him there. In terms of previous versions of him and how he compares, we've had a couple that go to 96. They're both whole players though, so if you want a box-to-box version, this is as good as we've had. Annoyingly, of all the attributes in Gündoğan, passing has been nerfed a bit. Still got very good passing attributes, but I don't know why they would nerf them. Again, annoying, but they have boosted him elsewhere, to be fair. So on the ball, a bit better. Attacking wise, a bit better. His balance is a little bit better. They've given him a big boost to his finishing and his physical contact. His finishing and physical contact are both up by 10. So a big boost there. So on the whole, they've actually made this a pretty nice version of Gündoğan. They've given him a nice boost in a lot of areas. If we look at his skills, they've taken away captaincy and replaced it with track back. So interesting swap there. Nothing too major. Obviously, he's already got one-touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, as you'd expect for Gündoğan. He's got outside curler. He's got heel trick. He's got a long-range curler. Soul control's nice. Double touch and cut behind. So yeah, it's going to be good in the ball. He's got some end product with his passing for sure. I I think it just depends where you want to play him. I mean, there's no defensive skills there, really. I wouldn't really count track back as a defensive skill as such. There's no interception, blocker, man marking, nothing like that. And the defensive attributes, they're all going to go 70 plus with the game plan boost, but for me, that's not high enough. There's no way I put him anywhere near defensive midfield. Centre midfield, if you've got one or two midfielders behind him doing all the defensive work, yes, maybe. You could certainly do a job as an attack-minded centre midfielder. I think that it just comes down to what kind of midfield setup you've got. Like I say, if you've got enough defensive mids there, if you've got like a double pivot behind him and he's got the freedom to get forward and you don't need to rely on him for his defensive ability, he could be really nice because technically he's fantastic. He's going to be good in the ball. He's going to have really nice end product. He's got finishing as well with that nice boost they're giving him. Attacking wins as well, so he should be getting into good positions and he can certainly create goals for you and score goals. I think as an attacking midfielder, he could be very interesting though. You can forget about the defending as an attacking midfielder. Focus on what he's good at with the technicals, his ability to pass and to shoot. He could be a very interesting attacking midfielder. They have added that. He's not always had that. I don't know how many versions of him have had attacking midfield. I think maybe one or two have. But certainly this one has got attacking midfield. And that could be the best place to use him, to be honest. It could be an interesting one. So if you want a version of Gündoğan, you can use an attacking midfielder. This could be a really, really nice card for you. If you only like him as a centre mid, like I say, don't rely on him to do too much defensive work for you, but he's certainly got technical abilities. Great technically. He's not got a great deal of pace. Kicking bail's decent. The physical contact and balance are both okay. Not brilliant, but they're okay. Stamina's good. That's going 90 plus with the game plan boost. Only standard form. That's a bit of a shame, but I'd expect he'll probably get a fair amount of A's and B's next season for Barca. So, yeah. I think most of us know pretty much what to expect from a Gündoğan card, but the fact they've added attacking midfield, albeit without an active playing style there, and making him box-to-box as a centre mid, depends on what kind of setup you use and what other midfielders you got in there, but depending on what kind of role he plays within your team, with the ability he's got technically, the fact he can score and create goals for you, could be a really nice card to pick up. So there's your pack. And before I forget, I did say to JS earlier I was going to show you all the face scans, and obviously I forgot already. It was only a couple of hours ago, but here we go. Rüdiger. I think most of these guys have got a face scan. Gündoğan, some decent face scans. Badé got one a while back. Sávio got one quite recently, I think. Lino's got one, I'm sure he got one quite recently as well. Kubo, he used to get one about once a week, didn't he? Remember they used to update his face scan all the time. Pepelu got one quite recently. Sørloth's got one for sure. David Soria, has he got one? He has. Nice. Inaki's got one, I know that. Aspas has got one as well. Fekir, he's got one, but they need to sort his beard out. Enhance this man's beard, Konami. Get it sorted. Budimir, yeah, he's got one. Pretty good one as well. The wee man's got one as well. Álvaro García, nice. Oh, we got dud. Generic face on Álex Suárez. What about this guy? Pubill, another one. Two generic ones. We're into the lower rated players now. Gonzalo's got one. Fair play. Antonio Sivera, 3 duds. So we've got 3 without a face scan. I think these last 2 do. I know Raíllo does. He's got one. And then Alcaraz, yeah, he's got one as well. So only 3 out of the 20. You've got 17 with the face out of 20. That's not too bad. So there you go. I'll try and remember to show you the face scans in future. I'm sure JS will be delighted. But yeah, this pack on the whole, I think is... It's like the other ones, to be honest. The previous ones we had the France and the Premier League Player of the Season packs. Good packs. I don't think it's that exciting a pack. I don't think I'm going to be putting any coins into it, but I think there will be quite a few people who see some pretty good versions of players that they like. For sure, Rüdiger and Gündoğan are good cards. That goes without saying. I think Badé's a pretty solid centre back. Sávio could be a pretty nice one to pick up if you like. I think certainly if you like an inverted winger on the right as a left footer, it looks pretty tidy with the end product that they're giving him. Lino, I'm just not sure how effective it will be for anyone. I just don't know with the playing style and the attributes and the skills if it all marries up together well enough to make him effective. But could be a nice card for some people. Good version of Kubo. Pepelu's a fairly solid centre mid. Sørloth, if he's your type of striker, could be pretty decent. If he's not, then I don't think you'll like him. Big clunky guy, but menacing from crosses. You've got a solid keeper, Iñaki. Inverted winger coming off the left. I would like him to be better on the ball. A bit frustrating, but still can be very effective. Loads of pace. Aspas, maybe a good centre forward. Certainly a good SS. Fekir, I like him a lot. I'll be quite pleased if I got him as a kind of number 10. Nice card. Budimir, again, it depends what kind of striker you like. You want a big striker who's good in the air. he could be pretty effective for you. I think he might be better than some people realise if he's your type of striker. Then you got some lower rated ones. Another 93 there and some 92s. These guys, I don't think out of all these cards there's anyone particularly amazing, to be honest. One or two that could be a bit better than you realise, to be fair. But yeah, you're always going to have the low rated ones who aren't quite so amazing. But certainly there are quite a few in there that are pretty decent. I don't think it's an amazing pack, but it's a pretty good solid one. And some of these cards I think people would be pretty happy with. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you found this useful. Thanks for watching as always. I'll be doing some more reviews. Like I say, there's the nominating contracts and the match pass to come up. And I'm going to review those 3 Arsenal players as well. So keep your eyes out for those videos. They'll be coming out soon. Thanks for watching as always. Do appreciate it. And I'll see you very soon.